This is a very special additional episode of the Anarchy Unleashed podcast with the super duo, the filmmaking duo of Ladies First, sorry, Yorgo.
Oh, no, of course.
Of Miss Maxime Bonett, or as I like to say, Bonnet, like hands, it's Bonett, and Mr. Yorgo Glynatsis.
Yes.
And it's Yorgo, not Yorgos, and it's Glynatsis, not Glynatsis. See, I'm very particular about people's names. You know my name, like Hanvey. It's quite a rare name, actually. It means, it's a warrior name. It means storm. For real, yeah, stormy.
In French, when you say envy, is envy.
Yeah.
I'm envious about you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like
It's
how the
more like
French.
envy.
Yes, I know. I love how the
Envy,
French say my name. It's brilliant. I put it in Google Translate sometimes, right? I put a film by thing because I love how they say it, like Christopher Hanvey. Like, oh my word!
Oh, I will. He's like, oh yes, I like it.
I do. I'm gonna move to Paris and have them talk to me like that all the time. Never get any work done. So Maxime and Yorgo have collaborated on a film called UNRAVEL. And I got the title right for once. And support it if you can. It's important to support independent filmmaking, but particularly short filmmaking, because they're generally not a money-making thing. Let's just say a thing. They're there to basically, as proof of concepts, really, right? They're basically, like, it's research and development phase of a filmmaker's career, actor's career, producer's career. So it's very important to support it from the ground up, because that's where we build talent. That's where the genius comes from. It doesn't just happen. No one just lands on a TV show or a feature film. Yorgo and Maxime have already been on the podcast, but this is very special because I'm getting them both on to talk about UNRAVEL. So it's Maxime's story. So Maxime, actually, we've talked about where it came from in your episode. How did you end up collaborating with Yorgo on this?
Obviously, I met him at Anarchy, and I remember he brought in his script for Trigger before he started filming and producing it, and seeing him workshop different scenes. And I remember speaking to him about the whole writing process. But then that was about a year before I ever started writing. And that was still in the back of my mind. And I wanted to create a role for myself as well. And I was going through a lot of personal things. So then I said, okay, you know what? Let's just regurgitate a bunch of thoughts on a piece of paper and then see where that goes. Because the thing is, with writing, I realized you can't start writing it as if it's going to be the finished product. Because then you're just going to get stuck and keep going backspace, or erasing or crossing out.
Yeah.
You need to literally put everything and then decide what to keep and what to throw away.
I call it just vomit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Vomit
good
your
it's a good
ideas,
process.
Brainstorm, and then it's like, okay, let's work it out. This is not working. Doesn't make sense and stuff. And then to go back to Anarchy is you did with Mama Boys, like you were workshopping your script, your proof of concept for a TV series. And it's really like, oh yeah, I think it really works, and you see what works, what doesn't work. So we did that with UNRAVEL. I did the same with Trigger.
I think it's
I did it in actually an Anarchies with some Anarchy actors.
That's right, I remember that.
And now I say to people, the writers, directors, like, do a script workshop, because on paper it might sound was like, yes, we have it, and then you do with actors like, shit, it doesn't.
Yeah, well,
sounds or it's like
something's not.
Clicking and stuff.
Can I jump in on that one? Like, because that's what I find. I was a writer, writing plays and stuff, and like screenplays on my own, and it was a struggle to even get like traction. I mean, I was writing regularly, but when I started Anarchy, I just wanted to give myself the challenge of writing something new every month to see if I could do it. I was writing 10 scenes with one particular genre every month. My thought then was, I'm working out a story. I'm working out the arc of a story just through writing 10 scenes, like as if they were taken from a full-length screenplay. It was like, So it didn't put any pressure on me to start from page 1 and finish in page 100. It was, I would start on page 1 and then, maybe I'll go to page 20 and just see what the characters are doing at that stage in the story, and then that. So Mama's Boys, I think you were in the workshop version. There's a first version that we did I wrote 10 scenes for. And the concept worked because when I went back to write the whole series, 6 episodes, I had literally had 10 scenes to work from. And I swear that just freed me. And I was like, oh, wow. It wasn't easy, but it just felt like a pleasure. So we workshopped, we shot the whole series in the studio. It's both Yorgo and Maxime are in it. Yeah. That process, I would love to do that process for every single damn script. I would shoot the whole script in a studio setting like that. Because that rewrite, I could literally rewrite like in seconds and I didn't have to remember because I had literally recorded it. And also in the edit,
you don't have to worry to make notes. It's actually not pause. I can see it
in the edit. Yeah. You practically rewrite because there are scenes that were written one way in the script, and when I got them in the edit, I just just literally physically moved the footage from there to there, and I just like shit. So I would recommend, I'd love to just do that and I will probably. Yeah. I mean, that's the best way to see, first off, if the idea works. Yeah. Second off, it's a great rewrite process. Third off, is it actually worth pursuing, maybe? Yeah. It's important. But that's what I'm so happy that you kind of took that on. It's the only way to go. It's a practical.
Also the inside of the actors I like, because my way of directing is a collaborative way, because some people, some director will be like, I am the director. Yeah, I make all the decision. You just say what I'm giving it to you. This is not me, even if my personal, I'm not like this. And I think when you collaborate and you give space to people, it actually brings ideas. They're like, this is actually better than I thought, than my own ideas. And you need to actually, put your ego on the side and be like, you had a better idea. But in the end of the day, as a director, you want to make a final, beautiful, impactful film. But you have to put your ego on the side and listen to your team and be ready to be like, actually, your idea is better, so I'm going to go with this. For me, that's a director job, is to be like,
no, I get it, yeah.
This direction
no, I get it.
And I work a lot with the flow, so I see it kind of like the full story, but then writing the script, working with actors, and then shooting it, I might change my mind, but I still have the message and the arc, the journey. So I was like, we can change the details, but the story, the message is still the same. And sometimes, to come back with Unravel, I ask, what do you think? Do you feel it's natural? So during the casting process that we did, I was really intrigued with what people think about the role, what they think. And the audition in person is so important, because during the pandemic, it was very rare to do an in-person audition. It's still
it's rolled over, hasn't it?
Yeah. But I get it for some small parts, actually, which was one of the actor out of a self-tape, because we didn't have actually to try a chemistry reading, for example. But the other supporting role, literally the actor was going to play against Maxime. I said to Maxime, we need to do the audition in person, because I need to see, and we need to see together the chemistry. Because chemistry is not always because it's romantic. It's not because it's a romantic scene. Not at all. It's just a chemistry between two persons.
It's to work.
Two actors. Yep. And then how they work with us.
And that's when you get that fizziness between actors, because also as a director, you want to kind of have that collaboration with your actors, and also between actors, have them collaborating, or else you're restraining them and they're not able to kind of show you their best work. And that chemistry test was so important to also see what others were going to be bringing to that role, and then how my character would react to that, and how if it's compatible or not. And also obviously taking direction as well. And then
because
also
we had
still
two directors.
Yeah.
So we had to mention you're gonna have to listen to both of
Yeah.
us
Mhm.
because some actor. It happened to me once on a project that I was like helping the director. Well, I had a lot of titles: script supervisor,
Sure.
second AD, doing the clap. Basically, it's a learning. But one of the actor, so I was trying to give directions to him,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like almost not listening to me, and then he was like always checking with the directors, like, "But do you want this?" And then I was like,
Did
"Wow."
he know that you were a director as well?
So
Because if he didn't, I can understand that. Though.
exactly. So I was like, okay, let's put my ego on the side. What's happening here? And then I was like, yeah, I think it was not clear that the director actually asked me to come to kind of coach the actors because he never worked with actors before. He's not an actor himself, but because I am I have an acting background. He was like, can you come help me? And because I feel I met few directors now and I can see the difference when they don't have an acting background. It's a psychology behind it. Actors are not toys. They're not puppets. If you do
Or
that.
my favorite is when they think that just saying, "Can you do more?" Not, more what?
Yeah.
Like, more what?
Yeah, what does it mean doing more?
Exactly.
Can you do more or can you do less?
Exactly. And
Or it's
not
this
that
one.
acting.
It's this one. Just
What?
what's that?
Like, okay, I'll do that.
Yeah. Oh, crying on cue. Oh my god.
Oh no, yeah. That's by the way, I've got a lot to talk about that.
Like, that's just people kind of assume if you're an actor, you have to be. Growing up, that's what I heard actually.
Yeah.
Can you cry on cue? I can.
That's not acting though. Don't get me started on that.
Yeah.
That's not acting. That's
No.
just someone who can do that. That's
Yeah.
not.
Exactly. And there are tricks.
Yeah, they are.
I was an extra back in the day in Belgium,
Yeah.
and the actress. So I didn't see the behind the scene, but when we arrived, everything was like setting up, and then she was like, "Okay, I'm ready," and then she started to literally like tap on the table, and she was like screaming, and then so I was like, "Is she crazy? She has a breakdown," and I was like, "Oh my god, what's happening?" And then it was like, "Okay, I'm ready," and then someone came to put like tears, like watered eye drops, and then she was like, "Okay, action," and then boom, the tea was there. I was like, "Oh fucking hell, this is how people cry on camera."
And mental sticks as well.
Mental, oh my god, I try it. It works. You do mental, he's like, "Oh, it's coming." Okay. So there are a lot of tricks, and I think if you give room to the actors, so for me, I always say when it's an emotional scene, for example, to come back to Unravel, we did a crowdfunding trailer and a concept trailer, so people can see already how it's gonna look.
Very smart.
And, I'm very visual, so I say if people
I
gonna
think
put money, they need
everyone-
to see a bit like
They need
It's
to
kind of like
trust.
trust.
It's a
like,
trusting. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna put the money, but they're gonna do something out of it. And it's gonna be
No, it's a very smart idea.
so.
Yeah.
We did that, and then the scene was like it has to be emotional. But I say to
To
Maxime,
give context as well, it's a
know.
non-speaking trailer.
Yes.
It's entirely just a close-up of Alexia the whole time for the whole 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And her doing the tapping. That's it.
that's it.
Yeah.
And music on the top and stuff.
Yeah.
But I say to
More
Maxime,
amazing composer.
yes, Theo Lucas, just for the name. I say to Maxime during.
Yeah.
And let's see where we go. If you feel you need to cry, then cry. And like I'm not expecting that you cry and we see tears. Let's be emotional because sometimes when you hold it, it's much more powerful.
Well, and that's what we originally wanted. We didn't want maybe not over the top is the right word, but we didn't want that breakdown of Alexia, the character. We wanted it very restrained, like you're fighting, not showing what you're feeling on the inside.
Like I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry.
Exactly.
You know?
But then throughout that day of filming, so we had a couple takes like that, because both Yorgo and I, we don't like to have 15 takes for one thing.
You don't need it. Yeah.
I think because we are actors.
Yeah,
I am
maybe
tired
that.
if you ask me to do 15 things, with especially if it's
emotional ones.
emotions.
Yeah.
Like okay, now we have it,
Yeah.
right? So me as a director is like, if we have it after 3-4 takes, I ask my DOP, we good? We have enough. And then I ask the sound, are we good with the sound? Are you happy with the takes?
Exactly, yeah.
I'm like, we have enough.
But thankfully, we decided, you know what? let's push it more. Let's see. Let's try and see, like, let's keep it going. So like we recorded for much longer than 30 seconds, obviously.
Yeah, sure.
But
Sure.
I think 3-4 minutes.
Yeah, we did
3 minutes.
3-4 minute long takes of me just tapping.
Mm-hmm.
And instead what we decided to do is actually separate audio and
Mm-hmm.
the camera. And I put music in, and like I'm very sensitive to music.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I cry very easily when listening to music.
Sure.
And there's this one piece by Riopi, a French pianist,
Mm-hmm.
and it always affects me. And I had that in headphones, and actually it was so sweet. Everyone on the crew, so the DOP set up the shot, pressed record, set action, and then Yorgo said action, and then they all went behind the screen, so they didn't. I wouldn't even see them. I wouldn't be aware of them. Not that I could even hear you because I had the noise canceling headphones on, and I had that going for 4 minutes. And the whole song, it's only piano, but there's a story in it. You can hear that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a build up, and then a come down, and then like the happy ending sort of.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time I'm just going with that and letting myself get swept up in the emotion of the song.
Mm-hmm.
And that's literally what we used.
Yeah.
And that's not at all what we originally planned. But that's the thing, like as a director, you have to be able to veer away from your original vision. And
To be open to that, yeah, because but it's still your vision, though, right? It's still the same thing, but it's kind of went full circle. You know, it's you go around that circle if you're willing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're willing to travel around that orbit,
see
you're gonna-
all sides of it, essentially.
Exactly.
Yeah.
but sometimes you don't have time. You just have to make this choice. But you're good. You know what? I think plan, but it's never going to be the plan.
Nope.
But plan, because that's where freedom lies.
Mm.
You know, fuck it. I know what I want. I know what I can get and how I can tell the story. But
But let go of the details.
there's something else over there, or
Yeah. and
some
plus
random
you-
shit happens, and you
You
go, oh.
trust your crew and your cast as well.
Right, well, that's the thing. Can you though? You need to know. You need to have the.
Yeah.
That's where casting and crewing
Yeah.
has to be right. What 5 minutes. But what really bugs me, actually, to be honest, is that actors go through the casting process, but crew members don't go through the crewing process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
They never really have to interview for a job. It's just word of mouth, which is great, but still, it's not because I've been bitten like that.
Because directors, that's not true for
No,
the directors.
it's not. But crew members don't really. I interviewed people for a couple of roles in my film, and when I look back now, I think, oh, that's why they were weird.
Yeah.
Why am I
I think
interviewing?
you have to set a meeting, so you don't call it like as an interview.
Should be
It's
though.
just
People
like,
should
let's
earn
have
the
a
right to be
meeting.
on your set.
Well, that's kind of what we did. We didn't do interview, but so Yorgo brought over most of the crew from Trigger because, well, no, it's because you knew them already.
Oh no, but I mean, like, you trust them, you've worked with them, right?
Yeah,
That's the thing. But if you
exactly.
don't know them at all, like, why would you?
No.
But
Yeah,
the thing is, I didn't know them,
right.
and since it's such a personal project and a personal story, we wanted to make sure that I would be comfortable with them, and so
Well,
we
that's nice.
had
Yeah.
Zoom meetings with them so that I could be
Mhm.
introduced them, not as just like because I was an extra on your film to help support, and I met them briefly there. But
Yeah, but
not
you haven't worked with them in a working
exactly,
environment.
not
Yeah.
in the,
Yeah.
in the context of
Yeah.
working together on creating a film.
And you being the creator, writer,
Exactly.
co-producer, co-director,
Mm.
actress.
That's my baby. I do everything.
Yeah, so it's we need it, and that's why I was like, we need to have a Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
So I can see me how they, you know,
It's interactor.
yeah,
Yeah.
they
Interact, sorry.
and how they're gonna
Yeah.
take directions from her because
And if I'd be
they
comfortable with them.
exactly because as she say they used to work with me, but we are two directors here,
Mm.
so I know. So it had to be clear that Maxime and I gonna give direction. So
Yeah.
don't be like, oh, no, I don't take direction from Yorgo. I don't take
Mhm.
direction from Maxime. You
Mm.
know. Yeah. So
But it worked out. It works out.
It's
Yeah.
working. It's working very well.
Worked for the trailer. We'll see in May for the film.
Are you filming in London? Yes, for all
in
of it
Kent.
in Kent.
Mm.
Oh, lovely. And then
Yeah.
I do like what part of Kent?
Near Tonbridge. It's not too far out of London, but
Yeah, because we have access to a big house.
yeah, so we use that.
So we
as,
use that and we have it for free.
mm.
So
It's amazing what you can do, right? What you can Right, here's a good point. Like, a producer's job is to get the best deals for everything, right? And, you know, if the opportunity arises to someone that don't expect anything for free, but the opportunity arises, take it.
No, exactly.
Most people are willing to, if you're truthful and authentic and honest about what you're doing, like, most people are willing to, like, do what they can to help.
Be honest with people. Don't hide.
Right.
For example, with budget and monies, if you say you can't pay, and then they see like it's a full-on, like almost Netflix production, they will be like, you can't pay me, but
That's bullshit.
exactly.
Because the equipment now is the least of your worries. Like,
yeah, it's just have to be honest to people. And what we're doing right now is Unravel, because we are crowdfunding. So we are honest with the crews and the actors. We say like, we are crowdfunding. We have a budget where we can pay everyone.
Yeah, we created 3 different budgets.
Yeah.
We did the best one.
The dream.
The dream one, when we pay good fees. People is like, it's a proper professional short film. It's like, we have the funding, don't worry. Then we did one realistic one. We still can pay people, but it's like a smallest fee.
Equity minimum's still good though.
Yeah.
By the way, that's 200 quid a day generally.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what.
Do you know what I do? Like, that's better than what you would get in a regular job.
Absolutely. Oh,
No,
absolutely.
but I'm not saying that. But that equity minimum's pretty okay, and most people will be willing to do that.
Like our realistic budget. So when you go on our greenlit, it's for 5K, and that would pay everybody, including ourselves, because we at first we didn't even think of ourselves. But the thing is, we're producer, director, lead actress.
I mean, if you separate those fees, man, like that's about 15 fucking grand. Like,
exactly. And then
but
we have
no, producers are the last people to get paid.
Yeah.
And then we created our
worst, let's say, I call it the worst case scenario,
Yeah.
but we still make it.
Your production budget, let's just say.
Yeah.
So we can make the
In the
we
can.
can make
In the can. Yeah.
So I say to Maxime from the beginning, don't worry about budget and stuff. We will make it. It's not because we don't get the 5K. We have that's why we had to create this worst case scenario, like we can't pay people, but we still make the movie.
Yeah.
And we are honest with people. It's like, okay, actually we just reached that amount of money. So I did the same with Trigger. I actually say to people, I just have 1,200 to do it. So I'm not lying. You know? But then it happened. It happened because people were like, yeah, don't worry, we're not doing it for the money. We knew from the beginning that we say yes.
It's your choice to say yes and no, but it's the fact that that's fine, but it's some people expect that. Some people don't expect to be asked for a fee.
Yeah.
When they can pay it, you know what I mean? That's my problem.
There
Don't expect that everyone's working for you for free. Like, look, I know it's for free, but I'm doing this because of this, and it's just an hour out of your day, whatever that is. Like, I did my first short film for £100, and I paid people, but I got the location for free. It was in one location. It was 2 actors a scene, and it was one lead actor, and there were like 3 separate scenes in the short film. So it was written like 2-hander scenes basically, for a reason, because I could bring people in and shoot for 2 hours, and I paid them like 10 or 12 quid an hour just to be there. 25 quid they got plus a fiver, so no one was out of pocket, but it wasn't a lot of money. Like 30 quid's not a lot, but they came like 2 hours, 30 quid, did the job. So 100 quid.
You can always find solutions.
There are always solutions. I mean, if people don't feel like they're being exploited, that's when they feel like they're being exploited and having the piss ripped out of them. That's a different story. It's completely different.
Transparent, as you mentioned. Don't expect.
Don't expect. But
just
people
let's have a conversation.
Have a conversation.
Be
Yeah.
honest. For example, if I come to you, it's like, okay, I don't have a big budget.
Yeah.
But I would like to pay you, and I would like to have you on my project because I've seen what you're doing. How can we make it work together?
Yeah. Yeah,
so
that's a different conversation. Yeah.
Because some people like you have years of experience, and if some people come like, oh, you're gonna do it for free, it's like, but why you? Why? You come to me. I mean, in your case, they come to you, but it's because they've seen what you're doing, what you deliver, on the quality, right?
Yeah.
Some people ask me, why is this DOP choosing to work with you for free? I'm like, please don't say it like that. But it's because it's a passionate project, and that's what they want to focus on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
also,
that's
we still
yeah.
have a minute. Like, we're still gonna cover transport and
Oh no, of course, yeah.
feed everyone.
Yeah.
But
Oh mate, you just
IMDb credits and festival submission, invitations and stuff. Like with Trigger, that's I do the same with Unravel. I'm honest with people. It's like my plan is to send the film to film festival, which is a great exposure. It's a good credit to add on your CV.
yeah,
So like for example with Trigger now, everyone who works on Trigger can say, "Oh, I am on Amazon Prime UK and US."
honestly, I'm not lying about it
At
either.
least I could give this,
No, we could talk about this all day, but we have to
God,
fucking
yes.
wrap up now. You must have seen the podcast with Maxime and Yorgo, so follow them both on their socials. Maxime doesn't remember her actual social handle, but it's all right. I'll put it in the description. They were both speaking French to me before the podcast, which I love. I love hearing my name in French. Christopher Hanvey. Thank you so much for joining me. Will you be back probably to talk about the film when it's made? I would say. I'd love that. I'd love that. So let's do it.
Invited, obviously, to the private.
I thought I was
press
going to
screening.
be offered a part, but still no call. So I'm going to call this casting director up and insist that they know me, so I don't have to audition.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Does it
You can
not?
be a great actor.
Like,
Yeah, let's put this. Let's say that. I think it's important for actors to hear because I think now Maxime and I we see the behind the scene and we see the other side.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
We want to give a little tip from a few tips to actors. First, be nice.
Mm-hmm.
And don't expect because you know people, they're gonna give you the roles because that's why we have a casting process. Is because you can be an amazing actor, but we need to test the chemistry with the other actor. And sometimes it's not about acting. Like the almost everyone we've seen in person for Unravel, they were amazing.
Mm-hmm.
They were just giving different flavors of the therapist.
yeah.
And then the top three, we were like, oh my God, it's very difficult to choose. So I say to Maxime, I'm happy with the three. As director, I'm happy to work with them, and I think they're really amazing. They just give something different. So now it's going to be your call. You need to feel comfortable because you're going to be vulnerable.
Actually, we can say who it is because.
Oh yeah, that's true. By then, you will.
Yeah. I'll not put it out for.
So the person that we cast for Dr. Ekron, the therapist in Unravel, is Adam Zellen.
Mm-hmm.
So I've known Adam for about 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he used to model professionally, and then focused on his full-time job. And about a year ago, decided to go back into acting because he did act. When he was younger as well.
Yeah.
And is now doing a course, a 2-year course, and I invited him to audition, and he had that. Dr. Ekron down that we wanted.
Yeah,
So.
and he was like taking directions. He was nice, very open. He came super prepared. Like he made some
That's
a
research
good
about
point.
EMDR. He had really lots of questions.
Good point.
Yeah.
I'm just looking down at my fans here. My fans.
Oh, and another tip to actors
Followers.
as well is if you think you're too good for the production or the role, don't apply. You don't need to. It's okay.
Maxime, I said I was sorry. She's never going to let me live that down. You know.
But yeah, no, we had few interesting. How can I say that? How can we say that? Experiences with actor, like.
Be very Be very careful how you word things, even if it sounds like if you don't mean what you say. If that makes sense, I'm looking down the lens actually. Like, be very careful how you write a letter or an email to someone or a message. Don't assume that it's gonna be okay just because. Even if you're like super close to someone, don't assume that you're gonna get offer or just that it's gonna anyway. Particularly with actors and directors and people. It's not how it works, and it's not how it should work.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Don't expect like, oh, I know you. Then give the role to me. I don't have to audition. It's like, no, we need to try. You know, we need to see.
You need to respect the process
And
that are put in
respect, yeah.
place.
Also respect the filmmakers.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
that's either putting pressure on them or guilt tripping them to cast you. But
Or
yeah,
not making them think that. Well, do you think this is just a laugh? Like,
exactly as well. Yeah,
disrespect, man.
it's belittling their job, their work.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's us. That's our moaning done for today.
Yeah.
No,
Just be nice.
be nice, be great. Thank you,
Yeah.
Miss Maxime Bonett and Mr. Yorgo Glynatsis. And I've been Christopher Hanvey, and this has been the Anarchy Unleashed podcast. So follow us on our socials on Anarchy Actors and Anarchy Inc. Inc.studio, www.anarchyactors.com, and Anarchy Inc. Inc.studio. Share the podcast, like, subscribe. Let's get these algorithms going. Let's get some sponsorship going. Let's all make some money so we can make more movies. How about that?
Exactly.
Because any money we make in our lives, we put it back into our career and creating stuff. Just create, keep going, and keep going. I can't wait to see this.
Yeah.
We'll have them on when it's all done, if not before. And I'll see you next time. Thanks, Yorgo. Thanks, Maxime.
Thank you. Great.
Thank you all.
See you on the red carpet.
Yeah, red carpet. Yeah. He says that, by the way, he says that, but when I gave him the call to ask to be on his red carpet, he's going to pretend he doesn't know me. Yeah.
No. You are my mentor, my friend, so I became a director, writer, producer because of you. So
Bless you. But it
So
was your
no,
choice.
I'm
And
not
Maxime.
this kind of person that forget people that help.
No, neither am I. They're both great. You're both great, Maxime and Yorgo. I'm not just saying that. Just entrepreneurial people. That's what we need. We need more people like this in the world, in the creative industries. Because then, in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever, 6 months, it can only ever be a better industry because of that.
Yeah,
So let's take the power back.
exactly.
Like, share, subscribe, follow these two. Support the film. Support Anarchy Unleashed. And I'll see you next time.